Welcome to the Baseface Network.
I'm Daryl Ontolan and I'm going to report about reproductive rights and sexual rights. Reproductive rights and sexual rights. The human development approach has long emphasized the importance of good health as a constitutive element that is both of intrinsic and instrumental value for an individual's ability to thrive. Today, on the UN's World Population Day, as global attention turns to the issue of family planning, it is important to underline the importance of safe and voluntary family planning services not only for individuals' health and well-being, for women's empowerment, and for prosperous communities and nations. What are minors' reproductive rights? While women, including those under 18, are entitled to make reproductive decisions concerning their reproductive health, including abortion, state laws such as parental notification and consent requirements have restricted their reproductive right and placed burdens on abortion. As such, many professional organizations concerned with minors' health rights have opposed this and laws restricting minors' reproductive freedoms. Abortion is the single most controversial reproductive rights issues in the United States. The issue turns on whether or a woman should have the right to terminate a pregnancy that would amount to a living human being if remained untouched. Sexual rights. Human rights refers to every person's freedoms and entitlements to live in dignity. States assume obligations and duties under international law to respect. States must refrain from interfering with or curtailing the enjoyment of human rights. Protect requires states to protect individuals and groups against human rights abuses. Fulfill states must take positive action to facilitate the enjoyment of basic human rights. Under international human rights law, all persons have the right to control and decide freely on matters related to their sexuality, be free from violence, coercion, or intimidation in their sexual lives, have access to sexual and reproductive health care, information, education, and services, and to be protected from discrimination based on their exercise of their sexuality. These are known as human rights related to sexuality or simply sexual rights, and the government of every country in the world is required to respect, protect, and fulfill these basic human rights. Sexual rights issues. Human rights related to sexuality address a wide range of issues and often it intersects with several other rights. Example of sexual rights issues include bodily autonomy, comprehensive sexuality education, criminalization and other restricting safe abortion, discrimination against women and girls, early and forced marriage, female genital mutilation, gender-based violence, gender equality, gender identities and expressions, HIV and AIDS, maternal morbidity and mortality, reproductive rights, rights of intersex people, rights of sex workers, sexual orientation, sexual rights of young people. If anyone question your rights to these things, especially a sexual partner, that probably don't have your best interest in mind. Any sexual partner you have also has the rights, and respecting them is part of having positive sexual experiences. A positive sexual experiences are those that are consensual, respectful, and protected. A sexual experience that violates someone's sexual rights is disrespectful and often non-consensual. It may also be unprotected. An explanation of sexual rights. Sexual rights. The rights to make your own decision about being sexual or not, regardless of your partner's wishes. Explanation. This means that you can choose not to be sexual even if your partner would like you to be sexual. This includes deciding not to be sexual with someone you have been sexual with before. The right to make your own decision about birth control and protection from sexual transmitted infection or STIs, regardless of your partner's wishes. The right to make free and responsible reproductive choice. Her explanation. This means that you can choose whether to use birth control and decide how to protect yourself. Making responsible reproductive choices also involves deciding if or when you and your partner would like to have a child. This includes the right to tell a partner that you will not have sex without birth control or without protection from STIs. Pregnancies and sexually transmitted infections should not just happen. The right to stop sexual activities at any time, including during or just before intercourse. This includes the right to make your own decisions about sexual activities, but it is important to remember that being sexual is not an all or nothing deal. There are several levels of sexual activity. You can decide what you are comfortable with and engage in only those activities you want to participate in. The right to tell anyone that you are not comfortable being hugged or kissed in certain ways. Even if someone is related to you, they cannot force you to experience affection the way that they would like. You have the right to tell your relatives and other acquaintances how you are comfortable expressing affection. The right to ask a partner if she or he has been examined for sexually transmitted infection or STIs. Asking a partner about STI does not mean you are accusing them of anything. It means you are being responsible sexual person. The right to tell a partner what you would like sexually, or to tell a partner that you would like to be hugged, cuddled or touched without sex. sex. This means you have the right to talk to your partner about your wants and needs. It includes the right to tell a partner she or he is being to rot, rap, and the right to be sensual without being sexual. The right to masturbate. You have the right to give yourself sexual pleasure. It is not dirty, wrong, or shameful. Your partner does not have the right to tell you not to masturbate. The right to sexual autonomy, sexual integrity, and safety of your sexual body. This means you have the right to make decisions about your sexual life according to your own values. You have the right to be sexual without violence of any sort. The right to sexual privacy. This means you have the right to make your own decision about sex as long as your decision do not interfere with the sexual rights of others. This also includes the right to be examined by a doctor for sexual concerns without the doctor sharing that information with other people except in extreme circumstances like abuse. The right to sexual equity. This means you have the right not to be discriminated against based on gender, sexual orientation, age, race, social class, religion, or physical and emotional disability. The right to sexual pleasure. Sexual sexual pleasure is not shameful. It is a natural part of being human. You need to make responsible sexual choices, but this can definitely include having sexual pleasure in your life. The right to emotional sexual expression. This means you have the right to express your sexuality in any way you choose, including communication, touch, emotions, and love, not just through sexual acts. The rights to comprehensive sexuality education. You have the rights to be educated about sexuality. Education can help you make safe sexual decisions and know when to seek help should problems and answer. The right to sexual information based upon scientific inquiry. This means that ethical studies of sexuality should be conducted and the information gained from these studies should be available. The right to sexual health care. You have the right to be treated for any several problems you might have and to get preventive care to keep you healthy. You should not be prevented from receiving this care because of sexual orientation, disability status, race, class, age, or other factors. Every state has laws about who can receive confidential reproductive services. Find out what the laws are in your state. Institution redressing sexual harassment and abuse. A student's encounter with a sexual harassment incident in an institute can have a major effect on his or her self-image, self-esteem, and on his or her development later in life. In recent times, incidents of sexual harassment have occurred in government and private schools, colleges, and universities. Many people do not even bother to comment or raise their voice against the incident because of social stigma is the slow redressal process. As a wise person said that precaution a better than cure. It is better to curb an incident before they occur. Here are some useful pointers for the educational organization and the top management. They intend to ensure prevention of sexual harassment. Internal Complaint Committee or ICC. Educational institute should form an internal complaint committee to look after the issues related to sexual harassment and molestation cases or etc. Immediate action to be taken. Teachers, supervisors, supervisors, students, body representatives shall take prompt action on their own for any repeated sexual innuendo, obscene, joke, and lewd remarks or whistling which is happening under their watch. Communication through informal communication. Faculties, supervisors should engage in an informal chat with the female of the organization to understand if they are facing any such issues in the classes, campus, or even outside campus. This can be done by forming small groups of 20 to 25 people for an open light-hearted group discussion among the group of students. Formulation of an effective policy. Have a soft, healthy, sound, soothing environment of studying. Counseling session can be fronted. The victim must not feel alienated in case she faces such an atrocious incident of SH. Adoption of a clear and effective policy that is devoted to sexual harassment should be formulated, which should comprise of definition of SH, types of SH, and forms of SH, investigation proceeding, action which can be taken by ICC, complaint mechanism, etc. Easy to reach. Dean, senior professors, and psychology teachers, if any, should be in student reach for open or closed discussion sessions. Also, this personnel should be highly sensitized about intricacies of SH because they are the first point of contact for any student to confront about any SH incident. Installing of camera in the premises. Installing cameras within the premises is also one of the most effective ways to curb sexual harassment cases in educational institutes. This will stop the student from being a part of sexual harassment, making abusive comments and social mockery of the incident. Get parents involved. Parental involvement is parent Parental involvement is critical to long-term behavior modification when harassment occurs. Parent of victims and perpetrator needs to be informed of the details so that the emotional and developmental needs of both parties can be addressed. Creating awareness among students and educate sexual harassment. The main aim is to sensitize individuals to methodology of the sexual harassment. Organization awareness session among students is another solution to curb sexual harassment in an educational institute. Abuse in institutions sometimes sometimes when a family finds it hard to care for a disabled woman, they decide to place her in an institution or a residential home. They feel the institution will be able to care for their daughter or mother better than they themselves can. Many people who live in institutions or residential homes also get a feeling of belonging and have a community of people around them, even though many people with disabilities have survived because of the care they get in residential schools, hospitals, and orphanages. They can also be abused there because people who live in institutions are often isolated, lonely, and powerless. They are more vulnerable to being abused. Many times they are living far away from their families or they have no families at home who can care for them. That's all and thank you.